just between you and I, after that call, I've never wished for something so badly though. I mean, I'm like the perfect boyfriend.
Yeah, you know, press possession by shawty, you man.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Constance Kusangaya for all of you guys that don't know me, and for all of you guys that do know me, welcome back to the channel. We are called the Connie K gang here, or the Connie K family, and if you want to be part of our family, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so that you're notified every single time that we upload videos, and we upload videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So guys, today I decided to tell you a little bit about my aviation journey and how it was for me staying in like a different country, and how it has just how the whole journey was. So if you guys want to see, or if you guys want to hear the story, just make sure that you carry on watching the video. But before that, make sure that you're subscribed, and make sure that you like this video and you leave your comments down below. So I have a glass of wine with me here to keep me company while I tell you guys a story, because I've never done like a story time on here, or like just a sit down and, you know, just talking about any kind of topic. I've never really done that. So I'm really excited that I'm actually getting the opportunity to do it. And if, you know, we like these videos, we can do more of them. So why not? Okay, so for most of you guys that went to high school with me, I went to high school in Wendywood High School. Like seriously, high school, Wendywood High School. And I had like two very close friends. That was Amanda and Precious. And I know that they knew I already wanted to be a flight attendant, a cabin crew, from that time that I was really young. I remember in grade 10, well, in grade 9 going to grade 10, where you now get to do specific subjects depending on the career that you want to do. So what they'll do is, like, before you get to grade 9, you know, you meet up with your teachers and you have this form and you just take a, like, you know, I don't know how they do it now, but this is how we did it, you know, when I was back in high school, where you just tick off all the subjects that you want to do, and then obviously those subjects are going to be linked to whatever degree that you want to study after high school. And for me, my favorite subjects in school were history and geography, so I just made sure that those were there. And then I just kind of like, you know, it's like, oh, let's get business studies, so, you know, like, we could balance it out, you know what I mean? So yeah. But for me, when I was asked on the piece of paper as to like what career I wanted to pursue, I wrote cabin crew, because listen, I already saw myself in the skies flying, you know. And that time I really wanted to fly with Emirates, but I hadn't really been familiar with Qatar Airways at that specific point. Even with Etihad, I wasn't really specific or like familiar with them. But you know, like, Emirates is just like that brand that everybody knows. Like, everybody knows Emirates, you know, fly Emirates, it's just all over the world. So yeah. So fast forward, I finished high school and I enrolled in EPT Aviation, which is, for all of you guys that are EPTs people, you guys know that was just one of the best aviation schools that I have ever went to. You know, I met a lot of nice people when I was doing my course. So basically, when I was getting my cabin crew license, the duration for that was like 2 months, and those 2 months were the best 2 months of my life. Honestly, people feel like getting a cabin crew license is really easy, and you guys, it's really hard, because you are taught like medical things, how to help someone give birth, how to treat wounds, and like, you are taught how to help people if they are having a heart attack, if people have life-threatening like situations. You have to stay calm, and you have to reassure them that you'll be okay, and you have to be a doctor until like a more qualified doctor comes. So basically, there's a lot of things that you get to learn. There's a lot of exams that you need to write before the Civil Aviation Authority of your country actually says, you know what, you've written your test, you've you've done everything and we can see that you are qualified to take care of people, that's when you will get your license. You just don't get your license and just be out here looking pretty in the plane, you know, you fine thing. Yes, fine thing, but before you got there, like you really had to work hard to get that license. So I just wanted to clarify that part, because people just feel like you can just literally walk in, look beautiful, they give you the job, but the training, you need to pass it, and the Civil Aviation Authority of your country has to give you the license. If they don't give you a license, boo-boo, you can't fly. You ain't flying. You are gonna fly in your dreams. Anyway, let me stop being extra because I don't know what's happening right now. So I got my cabin crew license, and after getting my cabin crew license, I was not job hunting, and honestly, like, it was the worst time of my life, because in my mind I just thought that, you know, as soon as you get your cabin crew license, you submit your CV to Emirates, Etihad, and Qatar Airways. They're gonna call you up and they're gonna tell you they're coming to Johannesburg for you know, opening day, and you're gonna get there and you're gonna get the job. No, they don't do that. So I started working in 2014. Beginning of 2014, I started working with Bid Air Services, and that was at the OR Tambo International Airport. So I wasn't a cabin crew at this point. I was basically just working as a check-in agent and boarding gate agent, and I was just basically like legit like loving it, because I was still in aviation, I was still around planes, I was still around the airport. It was just in the jurisdiction of like what I wanted to do. So to me, it really didn't matter. And my team, we basically did check-in and boarding for Etihad and Air Seychelles, because Etihad Airlines, they kind of like 50% or like somehow like own that airline, you know. So yeah, they have some shares, you know. So you know, we, you know, and they use the same system to check in. Like, let me not get technical because you guys are gonna get confused. So I worked there for a year, and towards the end of 2014, I think it was around September, I was now like, you know, my CVs were with Emirates, they were with Qatar Airways, they were with Etihad, and Qatar Airways reached out to me and they told me that they were having an opening day in Johannesburg at this day at a specific hotel, so you are invited to come for an interview. So do keep in consideration that this was not my first time going for an opening day. Literally, I had been in opening days several times, but I never got chosen, because honestly, like, when you go to these opening days for these Middle Eastern airlines, it's really hard, you know, for you to actually get chosen. I mean, some people, they go several times before they're chosen, and then some people are chosen like literally the first time they try. And I feel like people who are chosen the first time that they try, God bless you, hey. You don't want to be like us. Because I think I had gone like 6 times. I'd gone 2 times to Emirates, and I had gone 3 times to Qatar Airways, and I had gone 1 time to Etihad. And Etihad, they don't really have like a lot of opening days in Johannesburg, so that's why it had only been 1, because they literally, like, after every year they come down here. So, and they're very specific, like they literally choose like a few people, you know. So like you really need to stand out, you know, for them to like say, we want you to come for an opening day, and we want you to like, we want to see what you have. So basically, when you get to the opening day, like, they just have like all these activities that you need to do, and each stage you need to pass these activities and these interviews and these group assignments and group works until you get to the last position, or the last stage, let me say, which is the final interviews, where you will have a one-on-one interview with the recruiters, and from there they'll decide if you get the job or not. So it's basically like a whole day thing. So when they called me, I was really excited. And what is so funny is you get there and there's like 500 of you guys, you know, and they probably just want like 10 or even 5. So you know, competition is really stiff. Competition is really tough. So you really just have to bring your A game, make sure that you're on top of things, and most importantly, just make sure that you are being you, because if you try to be like fake, they can definitely see that and you're not gonna make it. So just be you. So I went for my interview, and my interview was really, really good. And it took about like 2 weeks to get back to me. And usually what I know is when you go for an interview, they literally tell you like at the spot that you've made it, unless if it's like specific cases. When I got to Qatar, where I heard that, you know, sometimes they'll like call you after 6 months. I really don't know what will be happening over there. But after 2 weeks, I was just chilling, and then my phone notifies me, and it's like, you got a message from Qatar Airways. And I'm like, why? Because I had even forgot that I went to the interview, because the first week after the interview, like, I'd always look at my phone, I was look at my email, and I'm like, no, I think maybe, like, you know, they're gonna contact me and tell me that I got the job. Because obviously if you are unsuccessful, most of the times they don't tell you anything the day of the interview, or they'll tell you we'll get back to you, but then they never get back to you, and then they just leave you, and like the whole year no one says anything. So I was just giving it a week, and after a week nobody got back to me, and I was just like, you know what, so it's official, like, it is what it is. I didn't get in. So after 2 weeks, I get a notification on my phone, and it's like, Qatar Airways to send you a message. So I'm like, oh, so they want to give me a regret message? Like, wow. Then another part of me was like, I don't know. So I opened the email, and it told me that you have been selected to join the Qatar Airways team. Here is your offer of employment. Just make a copy of the final page and sign and send it back to us, and put it in your portal, and do this step and this step towards your journey to coming to Qatar. I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like, you guys took me? Like, I got the job. I'm going to Doha. I'm gonna work for Qatar Airways. Is this a joke? I actually didn't believe it. Like, I wasn't excited as I thought I would be. I was just like, what are you talking about? You know? Anyway, so let me set the record straight. I did not go to Qatar Airways as a cabin crew. I got to Qatar Airways as a ground services. So it was like, what? But either way, I was just happy that I was at Qatar Airways. You get my points? I was just happy, regardless of the fact, like, I'm a sweeper, or like I'm picking up papers, or in the plane or something, or emptying the beans. Like, I don't care. Like, all I know is I'm going to Qatar, and I'm gonna be with Qatar Airways, and when I get there, I'm gonna like become crew. Like, somehow, some way, we gonna make it. You know what I mean? So it took about 2 months, almost 3 months, for all the documentation and everything to be ready. And I remember the day when they sent me a copy of my work visa, and they sent me a copy of my tickets with the details of my flights and the day that I'm leaving. And I was like, oh my god, that's when it really sank in that, you know what, girl, you are really, really going. And do you mind, like, Qatar, you know, and United Arab Emirates, you know, and that whole GCC area, it's like an Islamic state. So it's really, really different from like South Africa, or like from Zimbabwe, or just from like any other like Southern African country. Those were the countries that I had been to so far, all the countries that I've known. So it was a really, really different from there. So in my mind, I was like, okay, so like, you know, you have a lot of people telling you that they don't like this, or they like this, or they like that. You have to be very conservative. Like, you can't be out here wearing like this in the street, because definitely you can't be out there wearing like this. You can't drink alcohol anywhere. You can't wear shorts. There's no public affection. Like, literally, you know. So in my mind, I was like now scared, because, guys, I was only 21 years old, and I had never lived outside of home for a very long time. I know, like, I would go on vacations without my parents, maybe for a month, and then I'll come back, but I had never like packed all my clothes and said I'm moving to another country. And do you mind, like, this country is like in another continent, and like literally I'd be like thousands and thousands of miles away from my family. So that's when everything started to click in, that, you know what, you're really going, and mommy's not going to be there, daddy's not going to be there, Celeste and Alex are not going to be there, your support system, like, literally you're on your own. So you're going to have to like step up and be an adult and be responsible, and you need to have your back. So like, I was just like, okay, I got this, you know. So I remember my flights took off from the OR Tambo International Airport on the 26th of December, right after Christmas, and I landed in Doha on the 27th, literally like around midnight. And I was like, wow, like, whoa, the airport was dope. The airport was big. The airport was beautiful. The cabin crews were so beautiful. The uniform was so nice. Even the staff at the airport, the uniform was so nice. Everything looked different. And luckily, I was with my colleague and now became one of my best friends, C there. And he was also in the same flight with me. So basically, we just started walking together, trying to meet up with the people that were supposed to meet up with us at immigration and help us and make sure that we get to our accommodations and everything like that. So we get to accommodation and I got flatmates, y'all. And I had one flatmate of mine was from South Africa and my other flatmates were from Sri Lanka. So it was like a cultural shock, you understand? Like, you have South Africans and like Sri Lankans staying together. Like, it was so funny. It was the funniest thing to me. Like, those girls, I remember Sudeshika, those girls were really, really nice. They were really, really lovely. And Sarisha, she was also South African. They were really, really lovely. Like, I'm telling you, they were really, really lovely. But it's just the fact, like, you know, a lot of people that we did training with, they had never seen like black people in real life. I think they'd seen us like on TV. So like every single time like you'd go somewhere, people would like stare at you, you know, and then you're like, am I fine? Do I have like a snot? Or is like my eyebrow smudged? Or like is my hair horrible? And you just start fixing yourself. And then, you know, they'll be like, no, we're just looking at you because you look like Rihanna or you look like Beyonce. And then they'll be like, can I touch your hair? Oh my gosh, why is your hair so hard, you know? So in the beginning it was kind of like annoying because it was like, oh my god, like it's hair, you know. But then I had to realize that, you know what, it wasn't coming from a very ignorant place, and it's not like they were doing it to kind of like, you know, those people who do it because they're ignorant and they're just trying to like rub, I don't know, like they're just trying to annoy you. But for them, they legit had never seen black people, so for them it was really fascinating. And like you could see or you could hear the questions they were asking were not arrogant. They were asking questions from a pure place because they really didn't know, so they really wanted to know, like, oh, so in South Africa there's a lot of black people, you know, because they don't know those things. Well, they didn't know. So I was really quite shocked because I knew about Sri Lanka, but I'd never been there. But you know, like I learned about it in school and stuff like that, and just my own kind of like thing, because I like to just watch a lot of documentaries about countries, history and stuff like that. So that's where I knew most of these things from. But then I had to remember that not everybody is like that. Some people are not interested in those things, so they'll never know them. They'll only know them if they are put in a room and then they are being taught these things or they're being faced with these things. Then it's like, okay, now I'm here, so I gotta learn about this. I gotta understand like why it is the way that it is, you know. So fast forward, training got finished, and you know, I started working at the airport. You know, I was just having so much fun, you know. And then also like I was just having so much fun just being in a different country, learning the different culture, you know, learning the culture of the country, the Arabic culture, the Qatari culture. It was just really, really amazing. And also meeting different people from the world, you know, because it's just a part over there where like you get people from everywhere, you know. I got to meet a lot of people from other African countries. Like I got to meet people from Kenya, from Uganda, from Tanzania, from Ethiopia, Somalia, you know. So it was really, really nice. to just meet other like African people and get to know their culture and actually see that, you know what, we actually are one person. Our cultures are the same, but we just have a few similarities. But it was just really, really amazing. It was really beautiful. I got to make like a lot of friends from all over the world, and I got to learn, which was like the best experience ever. And then the other experience, what I just got to grow, and my mind just changed because my mind became so open, you know, like really open-minded, and realized that there's so much potential to us as humans if you take the time to travel. If you can, not even travel like, because obviously like a lot of people can't afford to travel, and I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, you have to like save and travel if you know you can't do that, if you have a lot of responsibilities. But just like simply like researching something on the internet and finding out about life in another country, how they are surviving, what kind of like opportunities are they, even in your own country. There's a lot of opportunities that you will never know about because you're so comfortable in your bubble with your friends and the life that you have, that you're almost like so scared to walk out of that bubble and do something that you've never done. Or like you're not scared, but you're just comfortable because it is what you just know. So it's important in life to just challenge yourself to do something different that you've never done before, because when you're put in situations where you are uncomfortable, then you are forced to make it. And that's when you realize that you have so much strength that you probably never knew that you had. And then that's when you realize that you can actually do a lot of things that you actually never thought you could do. So that was the experience for me, moving to a different country. So as I was saying, I got to travel, and it made me really independent. Why do I say that? Because I remember when I went to Oman, I went by myself, and I'd never been there before. And I was like, you know what, like I'm just gonna book my flights, and these are the things I want to do when I get there, you know. But the fact that like I didn't know this country, I really didn't know where I was going. I mean, I knew what I wanted to do, but like I don't know the way there, you know. I just know that they have an phone application, which is sort of like a Uber application, and this is the name of my hotel, and then tomorrow I want to do 1 2 3 4 5, you know, and then the next day I want to do 1 2 3 4 5, and then I'm gonna go back to Doha. So I literally just told myself I'm gonna go. But that taught me like so much confidence, you know, in myself, that I was put in a position where like I'm in a country, I don't know anybody, I don't know anything, but I know where I'm going, but I really don't know like the place, you know. So I managed to do everything that I wanted to do, and I was just really, really happy, you know. Then I also did another travels where I went to Sri Lanka, even though I met up with some of my friends there. But I just basically, like, you know, most of the time I was by myself. If I wanted to do this, I took myself to those places, and it was just really, really amazing getting the chance to travel to different countries, you know, by myself and with my friends as well. You know, it just was amazing to just see different places, and also the different kind of life that people live, you know, like what's normal to other people, like what's their normal that like you can never think of, or like you can never even know, you know. It's just shocking, you know, but it's very educational at the same time. So that was my story, hey. And also just, you know, making friendships that I'll probably have for life with people that are just around the globe, you know. It's just really amazing, and it just really made me really grow, and I'm really, really grateful for that. So yeah, you know, like that was my travels, and that was just basically like my story of like being in Qatar Airways. Because I mean, like, we can't talk about every other like small detail that happened, because I was there for like 6 years. So we can't talk about every day, like what we did. The party life was good as well, but I really had fun and I enjoyed it. And I would really encourage any young person who wants to fly and who wants to travel and who wants to learn new things, basically, you know, just get yourself, you know, in an organization like Qatar Airways, Emirates, Etihad, and definitely, you know, take the advantage, like travel, make the money that you need to make, learn whatever that you want to learn, and then, you know, settle down or just carry on with whatever, you know, decisions or adventures that you want to carry on. But I feel like if you're really young and you want to see the world and you just want to do something different, that is like the perfect platform for you to do it, because you get to see it, like, you know, in a more like glamorous way, and everything is just really nice. And also, you know, you get to learn a lot of things about yourself that you would have never learned. And that is just one thing that I will forever ever be grateful to. And I'll forever be grateful to Qatar Airways for actually seeing my potential to join their brand and to just work with them, because, you know, it's a 5-star airline, you know, and they have a really good reputation in terms of, you know, their flights and their services. So it's really an honor for them to actually believe that, you know what, you can work for our brand. So I'm just really grateful that God gave me this opportunity, honestly, like, to be honest. So you guys, that's the end of this video. If you guys would like me to do something similar to like what I did today, please let me know on the description down below. And if you have anything specific, you can always send me a DM via Instagram and Facebook as well. I'm very active on these platforms. So thank you so much guys for watching. Please like this video, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. I don't know why I always feel like notification gang, like, does that even make sense? Just, yeah, be part of the notification gang. Like, turn on the notification bell so that you guys can be notified every single time that I upload a video. So thank you so much guys for watching, and love you guys a lot, and be safe out there. Bye.